Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Marion Brigantia. I am a priestess, and I am starting this YouTube channel, this series of videos for telling you and sharing with you what it means to be a priestess in modern day time. I have been a priestess of the goddess for over 13 years. And it's been quite a journey, so I like to share a little bit of this journey with you, and I really want it to be this an interactive series as well. So I invite people to ask questions about what it is to be a priestess. So welcome, and I hope you enjoy this series. My first video, I really want to talk a little bit about myself, so you know who is talking to you. So as I said, my name is Marion Brigantia. I am a priestess of Bridget and a priestess of Avalon, and I am a sister of Rhiannon. These are trainings I have done to learn the skills of being a priestess. I actually am convinced that I was born to be a priestess, and I might tell a little bit more about that through the series. So I've been a priestess for 13 years and have lots of experience, and I want to share that with you. So my first experience of goddess was in the 2003 Goddess Conference, and she really was a whole new ballgame to me. I sometimes compare this with the Harry Potter experience. So when Harry Potter found out he was a wizard, as you know, the books maybe and the films, he discovered that there was a whole other world. Well, when I went to the Goddess Conference, I didn't know much about goddess, and I discovered there was a whole world, and had been a whole world of goddess for eons, really, but in modern time for at least a couple of years. Really, about the beginning of last century, there was a re-emerging of the working with goddess. So for me, this was a whole new world. And it was fascinating, and I found out there were millions of books, well, maybe not millions, but a lot of books, and I would definitely say thousands, to explore, to read, to find out what this path really was and is. So I went to this Goddess Conference, and I had, that changed my life. And a lot of people say this when they come to the Goddess Conference. They say it changed their life. And for me, it really opened a door. So after the Goddess Conference, I went back to the Netherlands, where I still live then. And I started a priestess training. And I had actually picked up a leaflet about this training about a year and a half before. But I put it aside in a drawer. And I thought, now I'm not sure, I don't know what it is, I don't know what it means. So I picked up this leaflet and I rang the teacher, Sutisa Hein, and said, I want to be a priestess. So for me, it was really a remembering, a coming home to goddess as in a way I had never experienced. So I've always been a spiritual person. I've always been very interested in spirituality, and I've been actually very active in the Catholic Church in Netherlands, which was a very progressive side of the Catholic Church. I came through a youth choir where we actually had a full band in the church, like drums, bass guitar, pianist, and it was very really from the hippie times that this choir was. So I came from that place of openness, of searching, of soul searching, and we had wonderful weekends away where we were actually soul searching. And well, it's not so much different as we are doing now in the priestess trainings. So I was really interested in spirituality generally. So I was still searching for something. So a lot of people might recognize this. So I did Reiki trainings and other healing trainings, and I did some yoga and all these things. Well, to find a different way of experiencing and expressing my spirituality, but it really never stuck. I went to a witches cafe, what is in Holland, and I really liked it. There were really people that I thought, oh yes, there is a different world out there. But what I found in that specific group, I'm not saying that in all the groups, but in that specific group, their working was quite dogmatic, and I knew dogma from the church, and I definitely didn't want that again. So I wanted something else. So I did an online training with a magazine called Onkruid, and that was Woman and Power, Vrouw en Kracht. And that was beautiful. That was really, really wonderful with Barbara Driessen. And it really changed. She offered a lot of things to explore. And so when I came across a leaflet of the Goddess Conference, I thought, oh yes, I know this from this course. Let's go and have a look. It's new. It's something interesting. I'm always curious, so I went on my own. It was quite a thing for me at that time, and it was just wonderful. There were about 100, maybe 150 people there, and I found out there were people there from Holland and from all over Europe, and they all came for one thing, and that was Goddess. So that year we worked with the Morgans, and I'll absolutely tell you more about the Morgans later in the series, and the energy of Avalon. And for me, it was a true homecoming, and she touched my heart. I found what I always was looking for, and that sounds quite cliche. I do realize that, but it was really exciting and new, and a different way of looking at divine energy, and I could relate to it well myself, because I'm a woman, and actually coming from that whole patriarchal world and from the masculine, it was really refreshing to come to meet that feminine divine energy, what is Goddess. So as I said, I went home and I started the training. I did a 2-year training in the Netherlands, but it was wonderful. We went to all different places I've never been to, all spiritual places I even didn't know about in the Netherlands. I went to England a lot, the spiritual places, stone circles and burial mounds and all kind of places before on holiday. But in my own country, in the Netherlands, I didn't know they existed. So it was really beautiful to go there, to connect with the land, what is a very big part of being a priestess. And so I became a priestess in the Netherlands. And the person who was at our dedication, who I didn't know so much, I knew she was the organizer of the Goddess Conference in Glastonbury, was Kathy Jones, and she came to my dedication in the Netherlands as a priestess, and it was just a life-changing experience that weekend, and I just knew this was my path. So I started to work in the Goddess Temple in Hillegom, which was up then, that was led by Sandra Warmerdam. And I did the ceremonies. I went from Eindhoven to Hillegom every 6 weeks. And it was, I really got involved. I still had my family and my job and everything, but in my in my spare time I was priestess, and it was really the thing that I wanted to be. So I did the Priestess of Bridget training in Glastonbury with Kathy Jones, and yeah, so I got more and more. It was a coming and going between the Netherlands and Avalon, and so at one point in my life a lot of things changed, because things change, and I knew she was calling me to come to Avalon. And although it was not a happy circumstance in which it happened, which often is, change is not always easy, it's brought me here, and now I am a full-time priestess, and this is my life, this is my work, and this is who I am. And so this is really what I want to share with you about my own story. I'm sure things will come up through the other videos, but this is a little intro. So I really would like to invite you to ask me questions. You can ask that through my my YouTube channel. You can write it in the comments, or you can email me. And so to the questions about what it is to be a modern time priestess. You can ask questions about Avalon, about the training. I'm teaching the priestess training. I'm now one of the co-organizers of the Goddess Conference, which it all started with me. It's such an honor. What it means to live in Avalon. I'm sure you have lots of questions. So feel free to contact me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Blessed be.